My sister didn't fire me in private. She waited until the quarterly review, when 2 clients were seated at the table and my slide deck was still on the screen, then said my name like it was a problem she'd solved. "Leah, we're moving forward without you," Harper said. "Pack your things, security will escort you." I was 36, the person who built the strategy the clients had flown in to approve. My notes were in my lap. "What's the reason?" I asked, because if I let my voice shake, she'd count it as a win. Harper smiled at them, not me. "Performance, cultural fit." Outside the glass room, a security guard appeared like he'd been waiting on a cue. Harper opened the door for him with the same gentle tone she used when she wanted to look reasonable. "Let's make this easy," she said. I walked out with my laptop and my tote bag. In the car, my phone buzzed with the reminder I'd set: client dinner confirmation. I'd planned the whole night, because that was my role, make things smooth so Harper could shine. At the next red light, I pulled out the small notebook I'd started after Dad died and wrote it down while it was still sharp. Harper fired me at 2:14 p.m. in Conference Room B in front of the Whitmans. Security present. Cultural fit. Harper had always been the bright one. I was the steady one. After Dad's funeral, she told everyone she was taking care of me. She got me hired at her firm and called it a fresh start. It wasn't. My title in the system was associate, even though I ran accounts. In meetings, Harper introduced me as support. When I pushed back, she said, "Titles don't matter. Titles don't matter when you're the one stealing them." The day she fired me, my access to the project drive vanished within an hour. By evening, my work email was dead. It felt less like a termination and more like a wipe. 2 days later, Mrs. Whitman emailed my personal address. Subject: "Are you okay?" She wrote that the meeting made her uncomfortable, that I had led their account for years, that Harper's tone felt retaliatory. Then she asked if I'd consult independently because they trusted me, not the person who'd just performed my exit. I asked, carefully, if she'd write what she witnessed. Date, time, what was said, the presence of security. She sent it back within the hour. Calm. Specific. Damning. That night I searched my old messages with Harper. I found what she never meant to leave behind. A message from Harper to a junior designer: "Use Leah's draft. Put my name on the final." An email thread forwarded to her from finance: "Approved. Leah's compensation at associate level. Keep it quiet." Then one line that made my stomach turn: "If Leah asks, say it's temporary. She'll accept it." The next morning I emailed HR from my personal address and requested my personnel file. I copied my attorney consult line, not to threaten but to be taken seriously. I also asked it for login timestamps tied to my account. HR replied with a script. It replied with a clean list showing my account approving items after hours when I was home. Harper texted 3 minutes later. "What are you doing? Stop. You're embarrassing yourself." I didn't answer. I built a timeline instead. Emails, screenshots, deck versions with my metadata, calendar invites showing I ran the client calls. The Whitman statement at the top like a witness in ink, and the IT log behind it like a lock-picking kit left on the floor. On day 12, HR sent a meeting invite, separation review. The HR manager, Miss Delgado, sat across from me with a laptop and an expression that said she'd already read something heavy. "Leah," she said, "we received multiple concerns about your termination." I slid my folder across the table. The timeline. The witness statement. The put my name on it message. The finance email. The IT log. Miss Delgado flipped pages slowly, then opened a drawer and pulled out a thick envelope of her own. "We also have concerns about Harper," she said. "And it's bigger than this. Harper had been submitting reimbursements for travel that didn't happen, always approved through a workflow she controlled. And 2 weeks ago, the same afternoon she fired me, she tried to push a vendor contract through with my name on the final approval line. My name. A digital signature. Timestamped at 2:27 p.m. 13 minutes after she'd told me to pack my things. I stared at the numbers until my throat tightened. The conference room humiliation suddenly made sense. She didn't just want me gone. She wanted me erased, then used as cover. Miss Delgado watched my face and said, almost gently, she needed you silent. What happens now? I asked. Now we document everything, she said. We suspend her pending investigation. We notify affected clients. And we refer certain materials to the appropriate authorities. 2 days later, Harper called from an unknown number. Her voice was thin, all charm burned off. Leah, she said, tell them you approved it. Just tell them it was a misunderstanding. I didn't approve anything, I said, and you don't get to use my name anymore. Her breath hitched, then the anger came. After everything I did for you, everything was always a debt with Harper. You didn't do things for me, I said. You did them through me. After the call, I sat in my car and let my hands rest on the steering wheel until they stopped shaking. I kept thinking about how Harper timed everything. She picked the moment when I'd be least likely to push back, when politeness would trap me. She'd always done that, even as kids, stepping on my project and then crying first so the adults comforted her. I didn't tell anyone at first. I made myself dinner and ate it standing at the counter because sitting down felt like admitting I'd been knocked over. Then I opened my notebook again and wrote one more sentence, the one I didn't want to say out loud. This wasn't about work. This was about ownership. The next week was a strange kind of quiet. No inbox pings, no Slack messages, no meetings stacked like dominoes. Just empty hours and a bruised feeling in my chest. I started taking long walks in the afternoons, not for fitness, but because moving kept the shame from settling in my body. Mrs. Whitman called me on day 5. She said, "We don't want drama, we want competence. And we want you." She offered a simple consulting agreement and told me her company's legal team could draft it. I hung up and cried for the first time, not because I lost my job, but because someone had seen me clearly while my own sister tried to erase me. On the 14th day, HR emailed me the outcome: Harper terminated for cause. Fraudulent reimbursements. Unauthorized contracts. Falsified approvals. Immediate separation. They offered me a settlement for the way I'd been terminated and asked if I'd return as an independent consultant for the Whitman account. I declined the office and accepted the clients. I wanted my work back, not the building where my sister thought she could end me. That weekend my mother called, quiet and careful. "Harper says you ruined her," she whispered. I looked at my notebook on the table, the one that started as grief and turned into dates and receipts. "I didn't ruin her," I said. "I stopped covering for her. Some nights I still wake up with the conference room in my head. But in the morning I open my laptop and my client emails are there, steady and respectful. My name is on my own work, and when the memory of that glass room rises, I remember the timestamp that changed everything. 2:27 p.m., 13 minutes after she fired me, she tried to sign my name. When you build your power by taking from someone quieter, you start believing their silence is consent. It isn't. It's just the moment before they keep the receipts. For the first time in years, I wasn't the extra in Harper's story. I was the author of mine,